Alright, so now let's go ahead and make the bird animate when he reaches 0 energy. And if we look at the costumes here, we don't really have a costume for the bird when he is dead. But what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and angle him downward and have him fly off the screen this way before showing the ending screen. Okay? And so the way that that's going to happen is we're going to go to the code and we are going to need to check if the bird's energy is less than 0. And the only time we need to check that is when backdrop switches to level 1 and eventually when it switches to level 2. But for now, let's just do level 1. Or actually, do we need to even do that? We have a play game variable, right? I'm sorry, I just thought about this, but we have a play game variable, and it's going to be equal to 1 when the game is playing, and it's going to be equal to 0 when the game is not playing. Right? It's going to be equal to 1 when we are in the, it's going to be equal to 0 when we're in the intro. It's going to be equal to 1 when we're playing level 1. It's going to be equal to 0 when we're in between level 1 and 2. And then it's going to be equal to 1 when we're playing level 2. Right? So we can use that to animate, to know when to check if we should animate the bird. Okay. So let's go ahead and grab this green flag clicked, and let's add a forever loop in there. Forever. We'll say if play game is equal to 1, then we should start checking. And what we're going to check for is if the bird's energy is greater than, less than 1, right? So let's go to variables, grab the bird energy. If it's less than 1, that means he's dead or should be dead, and we want him off of the screen. And what do we want him to do? Well, we want him to looks, or maybe we could motion, and we could turn a certain number of degrees this way. Let's say 45 degrees. And is there anything else that needs to happen? Okay, yeah, and then he needs to move forward until touching the edge, right? So we're going to repeat until. This is all happening inside of this if statement. Right? Repeat until touching edge. And we are going to go to motion and move forward 10 steps. Okay. And then once he finishes touching the edge, then what we can do is go to looks and switch the backdrop to the game over backdrop, and that's going to end our game, right? So let's see how it looks so far. Okay, so that's interesting. I'm not sure why. Oh, okay, right. It's because after it finishes, it comes back up and turns in 45 degrees, right? Again and again and again and again. So maybe we can say here, stop all scripts when this backdrop switches to game over. And also, we want all the sprites to go away. Right. So what we're going to do is on all of these sprites that could possibly be on the screen, we're going to say when backdrop switches to. So let's come over here to the hawk, and we can say under events, we can say when backdrop switches to the game over, we are going to hide. Although I'm not sure if that's going to work for the... Maybe, no, actually, I'm sorry. Let's not do that. Let's do when the backdrop switches to game over, we are going to set the play game variable to 0, okay? Because we are not playing anymore. And when the game is set to 0, what we can do on the hawk is we can say, I'm going to duplicate this. Take out the guts of the if statement, take out the condition, and inside the condition I'm going to say if play game is equal to 0, hide. is equal to 0, then I'm going to hide. So I'm going to go away, right? And you're going to do that for all of your sprites here. But the sprites that appear as clones, which are the enemy bullets, I believe. No, not the enemy bullets. Do anything appear as clones? No. So yeah, no, I think we're good to go. So you're going to set that up in all your enemies, and then the only thing that could possibly be on the screen when you end the game are the bullets, but I think they'll have enough time to go away when while the bird is flying towards the bottom of the screen, right? So let's go ahead and test this out. Ooh, my goodness. So we need the bird to be facing northward when we hit the green flag, right? So let's go ahead and click on the bird. When the green flag is clicked, we go to looks, and we say, motion, and we say point in 90-degree direction. That means pointing straight. So we got him pointing that way. Let's test it one last time. Hopefully this works out. And I think I programmed the hawk to go away. So let's wait for the hawk to get on the screen before I die. Ooh. So okay, so I programmed hawk 1 to hide, but I didn't program hawk 2, and this was hawk 2, right? So I think if you go ahead and program the rest of the birds to go away when play is equal to 0, it should work out.